Hey, it's Tom from WPWithTom.com, and in this video I'll be covering how to make a WordPress website with Elementor. This website that I'm going to show you how to make incorporates a lot of different elements. To create it, we'll be using a free theme called Astra, a free WordPress builder, a free logo maker, and some awesome free plugins. This website is also 100% responsive, so if you see, it will look good on mobile, and it will also look good on a tablet as well. And you can see that it will look good on all these different devices, and that's really important because there's so much mobile traffic these days. And it comes 100% mobile responsive right out of the box. So this tutorial does not include any coding at all. I designed this to be step by step and to be a one-page website. It may be one page, but I tried to cover a lot here, such as creating a logo like this one right up here. And I also added a video background with an overlay. I went over how to change buttons like this one here, how to edit our menu, and changing our menu to auto scroll to different parts of the website. So if we click on About, for example, it scrolls us down to this About section. I also went over how to add various images and how to change them, as well as add social media profiles with links to our website, how to change the text on our website in different places, how to change the color of different icons as well, how to add a price table right here with this background as well, and went over how to add this frequently asked questions section and how to add additional questions if we want, and have it open up from the right side of the frequently asked questions area. I also added a testimonial section that you can add stars for as well, and I went over how to add a working contact form as well as much more to our website here. So I'd say that this is a great tutorial for beginners that want to get started with making a WordPress website for the first time. And if this all sounds good to you, navigate over to the link below, wpwithtom.com/namehero, where we can get started with our discounted hosting plan and build out our WordPress website. Alright, so after using the wpwithtom.com/namehero link below, you'll be brought to my landing page here where you can be sure that you're going to get at least 52% off the normal rates, at least at this time of this video. So before we start, I briefly just wanted to explain what a domain name is, and it's basically like facebook.com, google.com, namehero.com. These are all called domain names. You can think of it as basically the address that somebody has to put in to find your website. So in regards to what hosting is what powers your website and keeps it online for everyone to see. So if you didn't have hosting, your website would just go to a blank page or an error or something like that. So you need hosting to keep your website live and on the internet. So in my opinion, the two most important things in regards to hosting are speed and uptime. And NameHero does a great job with this high-speed cloud hosting, and they have some other features that are added in there that I'm going to get to in a moment. And they also have a 99.9% website uptime guarantee. So these are two areas where they just excel in, and I think they stand out from the crowd in terms of web hosts around the same price as this. So if we were to scroll down, I also wanted to point out that they have US data centers, so that's great for anyone in or near the US. Maybe if you're in Canada or Mexico, it would work very good for you as well. And then if you needed to use it in Europe, you can use the Netherlands data centers. So if you're in Europe, they also have this option. You would just click this to toggle over and view those plans. Also, you can view additional details as well if you want to see more and learn more about this. But I'm also going to cover that real quick, that all of these NameHero plans come with free SSL, Cloudflare with Railgun, free nightly backups, unlimited email accounts, malware security protection, and this 99.9% guarantee. So if these terms don't really make sense to you, that's totally fine. Just know that these are all great things to have, and they'll keep your website fast and secure, and it will be online with the great uptime that they have. So getting all these features, especially at these prices right here, is just crazy to think about. It's pretty much unheard of within the hosting industry, and that's exactly why I'm recommending NameHero as your web host and where to get your domain name within this tutorial. So in this example here, I'm going to go through the process of signing up with a starter cloud plan. And you can see it says one free domain. Now I want to be transparent here that it actually says you only get this if you pay for 2 years or longer when you hover over this I. So just be aware that if you wanted to sign up for a longer plan, you're going to get a cheaper price the longer you sign up for. So you'll also get that free domain name with it if you sign up for 2 or 3 years. Now the cost of a domain name is usually around $15 a year for a .com, just to put that in perspective. So you can save a little bit of money between how much you're going to save with the lower cost at 2 years compared to 1 year, and that monthly rate looks about 50 cents difference, and then a domain name on top of that. I'm just going to go for 1 year in this example, but you can do 2 or 3 if you want to get that free domain name and get a discount for the longer duration of the plan. Now I should also point out this only has one website with the starter cloud plan, and these other ones have 7 websites for this plus cloud. This has unlimited and this has unlimited, so just be aware of that when you're signing up for your plan and choosing which one you want. I'm just going to be making one website, and I'm only going to need one website for this plan in this example. I actually have an unlimited plan myself for unlimited websites, but I'll be using this one in this example now. So if we go and click order now on 1 year, I'm just going to do that in my case. And here I'm going to choose the domain name that I want to register. So there's so many different options out there in terms of extensions, but I tend to recommend .com because it is the most popular one, especially within the United States. You can use a different extension if you want. And here I'm just going to put in niftywebsite.com, and I'll just check if it's available. If it's not available, it will let me know, but right here it says congratulations, it is available. Now if you did have a domain name somewhere else, you could transfer it from another registrar over to NameHero, or you could use the existing domain and update the name servers to the hosting plan that you're going to purchase with NameHero. This is the easiest way to go about it for most people out there, so I'm just going to register a new domain name and click continue to get started. So here it's going to ask us to basically check the options here. Now I recommend that you leave these as is and then leave this checked, because this Let's Encrypt Auto SSL, this is called Site Secure Lock. It will keep our website nice and secure. An example of that would be right up here. You can see this lock. It basically means that the website is secure. It says connection secure, and it tells us that our website is secure. It's not spammy or something like that. And this will make our website more secure overall and better for our user experience. I'm going to leave that enabled here and just click continue. And we'll go to the next page. Now within this area, we have this option right here, ID protection. I recommend enabling that because it will reduce the amount of spam. Now, every registrar out there, it doesn't matter if it's NameHero or GoDaddy or anything like that, you're going to want to have this ID protection. It's also known as Whois protection, and this will basically keep you from getting spam emails and spam phone calls when people see that you register this domain name with your information that you input. So it's a way to reduce the spam and keep you more secure. For only $2.98 per year, I totally recommend doing it. So I'm going to go and click continue on this ID protection. And now it will bring us to our cart here where we can see the total and choose checkout. Now I would just recommend that you verify the domain that you're registering right here. And once you verify that and see the cost of it, and you can verify you have the right plan. I have an annual plan, and you can see that this would be the normal rate, but with the discount going through the link that I have here, it brings our price down to $79.03 after the domain name and everything added on for 1 year. So if you think about this, this is $79 to host a website online for a year. If you wanted to start a brick and mortar business and try to make money from that, it's going to cost you at least $1,000 to rent a month in the US probably. So to get it for $79 for the whole year, to start a business and potentially make money online, or even just have a website for yourself that you want to share with the world, this is a great price to get it for. So I'm going to go and click checkout here. And here we're going to need to put in our information for the billing cycle. I'm actually just going to pause the video and fill this out and blur the screen. So I'll get down to the bottom of this page once I'm done filling out this information so you can see it from there. Alright, so now I've actually filled out the information for niftywebsite.com here, and I'm going to just go and I'm going to opt out of these emails, but if you want to leave that enabled, you can. I'm going to click I have read the terms and service agreement. You can read that and also read the payment policy as well if you'd like. And then I'm going to go and click complete order. All right, and there it goes, and it says order confirmation. I'm going to click out of this here, And here is our order. Now, if we go and click continue to client area right here, we can go and see that we have our plan enabled here. So what we can do, it says web hosting starter cloud. We can go and click on that. And now we're within our starter cloud plan. And then we can go to log in to cPanel right here. And that's going to take us into our control panel. And now from here, we can actually start installing WordPress and then get started building out our website. So I just wanted to mention that you should have received some emails with confirmations from NameHero that your account is set up and the payment went through. I recommend saving those and not actually deleting them because they could come in handy if you make changes to your account in the future, and I just wanted you to be aware of that. So to get started with installing WordPress, let's actually scroll down all the way to the bottom of the page where it says Softaculous Apps Installer, and we can just click on that right here. Now next we're going to see these scripts, and the top script is WordPress because it's used on so many websites throughout the world. Let's go and click Install here. And here's where we can set up our website. So I'm going to leave this as the default. Whenever you get in here, it should be the most recent version, and we're just going to leave it on that. Now as far as choosing the protocol goes, we're going to click on this and make this HTTPS, and the S here represents the SSL, Site Secure Lock, that we have within our plan, and it makes our website more secure. So we're going to want it to be with this setup, and then you're going to have your domain here. Since there's only one domain actually on this plan, this is the one we're going to have. And I'm going to go and delete this WP. You definitely want to delete this. And from here, it actually says a trusted SSL certificate was not found. That's actually not true. And when we go through the process, we're going to see that it automatically sets up our SSL certificate by default. It's a great feature that they have built into NameHero and not one that is common within the hosting industry. So it saves us some time and makes our site secure right off the bat. So we can actually scroll down, and here are the site settings. So we can change our site name and our site description if you want. I'm going to just leave this as is, and I'm going to show you where to change it within the WordPress dashboard. But for now, that's what you might want to do, is change it. So if you have a website design company out of Denver, you might want to call it Denver Designs, and then have a site description, the best website designs in Denver, or something like that. And that is where you would put this. But I'm going to show you how to do that once we get further along here. Now down here is the admin username and password. Here is going to be what you're going to use to log into your site each time after this initial login. So you want to make this something that you're going to be able to remember for the admin username and password. And you're also going to want to put in a good email address right here that you can recover your password for if you lose or forget the password. So I'm just going to start by putting in a good email right here for me. And then I'm also going to go right in here and I'll make this nifty website in my case. And I'll also just put a password that I'm going to be able to remember. So I'm going to hide that. And I'll put in a password, and you can see the strength is strong. So this is going to be your username, your password, and the email that you can recover it at. So make sure you put in good information here. Now for your site language, I'm going to leave mine as English. Here you can install these plugins. I'm going to skip past this, but these are actually two pretty good plugins if you want to use them. And theme, I'm going to install a theme as we go through this. I'm not going to use one of these. I'll just go down here and click install. Now I should say that with the login, it is case sensitive, so keep that in mind and be aware of that. So right here, this is important. So this is the administrative URL. So it's going to be yourwebsite.com, .net, whatever it is, /wp-admin. Right here is going to be at the end each time. So you might want to copy this link or bookmark this link or something like that. So you're going to be able to remember it. But each time you log into the website, this is where you're going to go, and you're going to input that login. In my case, it would be Nifty Website, and then the password that goes with that. So right here, we can click this. By default, the first time it's going to log us right in. So if we click on that, we can see that it logs us right into the dashboard. Now this might be the most important area within our website. It's basically the back end or the dashboard of our website, as you see right here. I'm going to go up here and just log out and show you what it looks like. So right here, if we go in the upper right corner and click log out, we're going to be brought to this page, and this is the WP-admin page, the login page. So if I just click on that, it takes us right to this login area, and this is where we'd put in Nifty website, and then I'd put in the password that I just set up for it as well, and then click login to log in. If you lose your password, this is where you can recover it, and it will be sent to that email. So let's just go and click login, and now we are in the dashboard. So at this point, we no longer need this, but you might want to save this administrative URL. I'm going to X out of that, and I'm going to X out of the client area, and now we can get started with setting up our dashboard area and changing some things to make our website better. Now, there are always some things that we can clean up when we first install WordPress, and many tutorials that people do just blow right past this kind of thing, but I want to make sure you're set up properly here. So let's go through some of these features. First, I'm going to go to where it says comments, and right here we have this default comment. And if we actually open up the site, let's go up here, right click, open link in new tab. You can see this is what our site looks like by default. And right here it says recent comments, a WordPress commenter. And if we go over here and we wanted to delete that within comments, we click on this, bulk actions, move to trash, apply. So once that's in here, we can go to trash, and then you want to just go and delete permanently. You always want to delete it permanently and not just leave it in the trash. So if we were to go back over here where it says recent comments, a WordPress commenter, and we refresh, we see that it's no longer there. Now, if we go back over here, we can go to where it says post, and the comment was on this post that says hello world right here. We can go and trash that one right here as well. And then again, go into where it says trash and delete permanently. So if we went back here again, now that post isn't there as well. Now we can also go to where it says pages, and by default we have these pages populated. So you should probably have a privacy policy page on your website. It's basically required these days, but I'm actually going to just go and click up here and trash both of these, move to trash and apply, go to trash again, click here to select both, bulk actions, delete permanently, and then click apply. And that gets rid of both of those pages. We're going to add some pages here coming up, but I just wanted to clean that up for now. We can also go down to where it says appearance, and if we hover over that, it goes to themes right here. And within themes, this is our active theme right here. It says 2020, and you can see this is kind of what it looks like. We've already made some edits, but if we go over here, this is 2019 and 2017, and these two themes aren't active on our site. We don't even need them here. So we can go and click in the middle where it says theme details, and then in the lower right it says delete. Let's just go and click that and confirm to delete it. And we can do the same on 2017. Click theme details in the middle, go down to the lower right and click delete. OK. So that gets rid of that, and we're left with just one theme. Now after we go through these little edits, I'm going to go back in here and add our theme. But let's move along down to where it says plugins. And in plugins, these are both actually not activated right now. So we can just go and click on this. And I'm going to go to bulk actions. And I'm just going to click delete. And click apply. OK. And it gets rid of both of those. So this is an important part. Within settings, we have this area. And this is where you can change your site title. Earlier, I gave an example of Denver Designs, the best websites in Denver, for the tagline. Here you might want to put something different. So this is going to be a marketing website in this mock website tutorial here. And I'm just going to name this one Marketing Masters. And I'm just going to put something simple here like the best marketing team around. And that will be my tagline. So that is what's going to appear at the top of our website. So right now it says my blog, my WordPress blog. Now it's going to say Marketing Masters, the best marketing team around. So that is where it's going to display at the top of your website in this tab. And it is important for SEO, which is search engine optimization, that you try to hit on some keywords that you want to rank for within Google within this section. Now, there's a lot more to SEO. I can make a couple hour-long tutorial about SEO, but just know that you want to have at least the name of your company in here, maybe the area you're serving or something like that. So if we go down here, we have different options. This is our admin email address. You want to make sure that's correct. Down here, we can change the language if we need to and the time zone. I'm in UTC-5, so I'm going to put that here. Down here you can choose the date format, the time format if you want. You can choose which day of the week starts on for blog posts and things. This matters. I'm going to just go and click Save Changes. And from here we can go over and go down to where it says permalinks. And this is an important area as well. You want to make sure this one is on post name. So by default you might have your post show up and say something like niftywebsite.com P equals 574. No one knows what that means. No one knows what this date and then the post name means. If you just have sample post here, let's say you have a post here about marketing in the mail. You might want to have it say niftywebsite.com/mail marketing or something like that. Flyers or something like that. So you could have a different page here and your viewers that go to the site are going to know what it's about by the post name structure. So I'm going to go down here and save the changes for that. And then one last thing within settings in discussion, you might want to turn off comments. So it says allow people to submit comments on posts. And if you want to turn that off, you can go do that and save the changes. I actually am not going to put a blog on this website here, but that's where you would do that as well. So next we're going to get started with installing our theme. So if we go over to Appearance Themes, let's dive into how to add a theme now, and we'll actually add our free plugins as well. Alright, so our theme here is currently the 2020 theme as we went over earlier. And basically a theme is like a template or something that basically has the foundation that you need to build off of within WordPress. There are lots of good paid themes and there are also free themes. If we went to click Add New right here, we can see that right here are some of the themes that just come up by default in the featured. And then there's popular ones right here. And I'm actually going to be using this theme right here, the Astra theme. And part of why this theme is popular is because they have a great free theme and they have a great paid theme with it. So if we go and click Install Now, we're going to be able to use this theme and it's a free one, easy to use, and we'll click Activate there to get it started. So right now it says New Theme Activated. So if we go over here and look at the site, we can see that this is what it looked like before with the 2020 theme. If we go and refresh the page, we can see that now it has a different look to it. Very basic right now, but we're going to be able to easily edit this theme. So if we go back over here, we can go to the center theme details on the 2020 theme, just as we did before, and we're going to go and delete it and click OK. So now we're just left with our current theme as the Astra theme. You only can have one current theme at a time. So in this case, this is the only one we have installed, so it's the Astra theme. Now right here it says it comes with ready to use starter templates if you want to install their plugin and get started. I have other tutorials where I go through the process of doing that. In this one, I'm going to use a different way to set up a pre-made template that I think looks very nice as well. So for now, I'm going to X out of that, but that's an option that you might want to consider. So I'm going to go and X out of this as well, and we're just left with the theme. So the other thing I wanted to do is add some plugins to our site. So if we go to Plugins, Add New, we're going to be brought to this area, and it looks very similar to how the theme one did, where it has popular and it has recommended ones, things like this. So within here, I'm actually going to search for one called Envato. And it is Envato Elements right here. And it has over 200,000 active installs. I'm just going to go and click Install Now. And then I'm going to click Activate. So now this is activated. This is where we're actually going to get our template kits from, but we're going to get into that in a second. The other thing we're going to need here is a builder. So I'm going to go and click Add New. And I'm going to search for Elementor right here. And Elementor is a very popular builder. And it's this one right here, Elementor Page Builder. We'll just click Install Now. And from here, we'll click Activate. So it has over 5 million active installs. If you want to watch this little getting started video here, you can. I'm going to X out of that. And we're going to go through the process of using and learning the builder as we go. So from here, we can actually go over to where it says Pages and Add New. And we can get started with setting up our menu and page structure for this website here. So because of the layout that we're going to have for these pages here, this is going to be a little bit different than most websites that you set up. So I'm just going to go here and X out of this. And here we're going to be creating a one-page website menu. So it's going to be a little bit different and involve anchor links. So here I'm just going to go and add a title. Now this is a page title, and I'm just going to put home. And over here on the right, it says sidebar. I'm going to choose no sidebar. And for the custom layout, I'm going to do full width stretched, and I'll disable the title. So if we go and we actually look at the site, this is the sidebar right here. And we're going to have it take up the full width of the actual screen, or basically the full width. So let's go and click publish right now. And then we'll just click publish again to make it go into effect. Now by default, it says our home address is /home. We can actually change that. Let's just go back over here to this W, click on that, and it takes us back to the dashboard. And down here it says settings, reading. In this section, we can add a static home page. So right here by default, it says your home page displays your latest blog post. Now WordPress was initially set up to be a blog first platform, so that is why it does this by default. If we want a static home page, which is what we're going to want here, we're going to click on this and click home page, home, and then we'll save the changes. So I just want to show you before I click save. If I were to go over here, you can see it says home right here. If I click on it, it says /home. So this would be niftywebsite.com/home. Once we go down here and save it as the static home page is home, and click save changes, we can go over here and refresh it, and now watch what happens to the end of that URL. It goes away, so now it's just niftywebsites.com. There's no /home to get to the home page of the website. So right now this looks pretty bland. Let's go through the process of actually setting up our site here. So if we were back here and we go over to where it says pages, where we just were, we can click on where it says edit for home. And within this area, I'm going to X out of this again. And here we can click edit with Elementor. So let's just click on edit with Elementor, and that's going to take us to our front end builder with Elementor. And here we can actually add our template. That's a free template from the Envato Elements plugin to this page. So right here, it says Envato Elements, this green icon. That's only going to be there once you install the plugin in the dashboard. So let's click on that. And here we have install kits, premium kits, free kits, and free blocks. So I'm going to use a free kit, but these free blocks can really come in handy as well, which I'll show you a little bit as we go on. But let's go and click free kits here. And these premium ones are going to be paid, obviously. So if we go over here and go to categories under where it says free kits, we can then go to corporate and business. Now there's so many different options in here. This is just some of them. And if you wanted to preview them, let's just say you like this one, you can click preview and you can get an idea of what it will look like once it loads here. So this will give you all the different layouts. So this one is home 1, this is home 2. When it says Pro like that, you would need to have Elementor Pro to make all of the features within the actual site go into effect. And Elementor Pro does cost money. I have a link below if you want to get it. It makes Elementor more powerful in terms of the builder. But in this tutorial, I'm going to only be using the free version. You can get the Pro version at wpwithtom.com/Elementor if you're interested. But again, I'll only use the free version here because it will do the job and get it done. So if we like this page, let's just say we like this one right here, Home 1. We can click on it and it will give us a preview of what it would look like once we load it onto our site. And you can scroll through it and see what it looks like. And then once we have this set up, we can make some edits from there. So I'm actually not going to use this one right here. I'm going to use a specific one I picked out before. I'll scroll down and go to the second section. And again, I'm under corporate and business, so it might look a little different than where you're looking. And there's 324 total, so it might take you a little bit to find the one you want. I'm going to scroll down and go to this one right here. And I'll click on preview. And this one will give us a preview of what these look like within this kit. So here is one right here, Home 1. I like the look of this one overall, and I also like another one as well. So this one right here is what it would look like. I think it looks very professional. And once you scroll through it, you can see what it would look like. And we can use this as basically our base for our one-page website. I'm going to go over here, and I'm actually going to go with over into preview. I'll go with Home 2 right here. And the reason why I like this one is because of this video background built right in. I think it looks really professional and it gives it a cool look. And we can easily make this one pretty quickly into a nice website. It's already nice out of the box, so there's not a whole lot of edits we're going to have to do to make it our own. So I'm happy with this one right here. I'm going to X out of this preview, and I'll go back here and click Install Kit. And then we can go to View Kit. and it says there are 4 requirements that you need. If you want to, you can click install requirements. I'm just going to do that. And here I'm actually going to take off the Elementor Pro plugin because that would cost money. I'm going to go and install the other ones there. And then I'll click close. So there may be this requirement if you want to install one of these. So I'm just going to go and click insert template, and that will insert it onto our home page, and then we'll have this template to start building off of. So we'll just give it a moment here. And there it is, and it loaded right to our site. You can see there's the video going into effect right there. And if we scroll down, you can see it looks just like the preview that we had just a moment ago. So that could be our one-page website. I do want to point out something. Say you wanted to add other sections to this, you can go down here and click this Envato Elements and go and view installed kit. Since we installed all of these, we have all of these different options in here. If you wanted to add something else, say you like a section like this one right here, and you wanted to add this contact to the bottom, you can actually go and click insert template just like this, and it will insert below the one you already have in there. So you'll have both templates within the home page of this site. So now you can see that I inserted this one down there as well, and that could be nice to add a little contact form to this area. I actually might leave that in here for this tutorial and just show you what you can do with it. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm actually going to go and get rid of this image and just leave this little contact area at the bottom here. So I'm going to go right here and click the X to delete that section, and that's one of the easy things to do with an Elementor. Also, you can go down here and click on this and add different blocks, and there's all different things. So let's say you wanted to add something related to a contact. You can insert this template for a contact form. Now granted, some of them are only going to work with Elementor Pro again, so you might want to pick that up. But if not, you can make things work and get it done and add different features from this block section for all different kinds of look and feel to your website to really speed up the design process. So I'm going to go and build off what we have here, but I just wanted to show you that before we start building out our menu here. So the first thing I'm going to do here is go and click update right here in the lower left, and that makes the changes go into effect that we just did by uploading this template here to our website. So if I go back up here to these 3 lines in the upper left, we can go back and go to exit to dashboard. And if we were to just refresh our site, you're going to see it live on our site now with the new look to our website, with the video background there and all these different sections within our website. So that's what it would look like on our main website if you actually sent somebody to niftywebsite.com right now. And I'm going to go back here and click the view pages to go back into the dashboard, and let's go and add some different sections to our website over here. I'm going to go and click edit with Elementor to get that process started. So now that this is loaded, we can actually go and add different sections. So right now we only have this home page. If we were to go down here and let's just say we wanted to add a home, about, services, maybe a frequently asked questions, and a contact page. So what we could do is we can actually rearrange different parts. So let's say I want this expert team right here section to be part of the about section. I can go and just click on this and hold it. So if you click and hold it, you can go and drag it, and you literally can go and drop it right up here. And now you have the expert team section right here at the top. You can also go over here and go to Navigator and rearrange different sections. So if I wanted to grab this, I can go and drop it below, and that will just move it down a section. So now you can see the expert team is down there. Or I can go and move it and drop it up here and move it right back. So there is a slight delay, but that's how you would do it with this Navigator option right down here. Now, if you don't like changes, you can also go to the history right here and revert back in different spots during the design process. And then over here, you can go into responsive mode. So let me just click update right now, and I'll go to responsive mode, and you can view what it looks like on a tablet or on a mobile device. So if we went up here and looked at it on a tablet and a mobile device, it actually looks pretty good by default right out of the box, and that's one of the advantages of the Astra theme, that it's designed to be mobile responsive and mobile friendly, so it looks good on all devices. So I'm going to go back up here to the default desktop view right here, since I'm on a desktop. And then after you make changes, you might want to go and preview the changes right here, and that's how you would do that to look what the changes look like on the live site itself. So those are some basic edits. Now, if we click on this icon right here, we can use all different elements or widgets within Elementor to get started. So I'm going to actually X out of that, and I'm going to go through the process of setting up this menu real quick, but I wanted to give you a brief overview of Elementor. So if we go right here to the expert team, let's just make that our about section. So if you want to change this text, you literally can just click on it and you can just write about us or something like that, and that can be your about section. And now that this about section is in place in the order we want, let's make sure that our services look like they're in the right place as well. So this would be our services. I'm just going to change this title so it's easier for me to find as I'm going through this. And this one will say services right here. And then if we go down here, this one says general questions. I'm going to make that say FAQ for frequently asked questions. And then lastly, down here at the bottom, I'm going to make this the contact area. So I'm just going to go and put right here, contact us. And these are the 4 sections here that I just added. And I'm just going to click update to make these changes go into effect. So now that we have these sections in here, about us, services, frequently asked questions, and contact, let's go and add those to our menu. So if we go back here within the dashboard and we go to where it says appearance, menus, we're going to add these over to this. So this is going to be a menu, and I'm going to name this main menu and just click create menu. Here I'll make sure I check primary menu. That makes it go into the top of the website by default. And I'll click Save Changes right here, Save Menu. So here I'm going to go down to where it says Custom Links. So right here I'm going to put hashtag or a £, and about. And then for the link text, it's going to be what displays in our menu. So I'm going to want to add this and make this in a capital A in about and add it to the menu. So now we have a custom link about with a capital A for it. And the URL in the custom link is this £, and then about. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do #services. I'm going to make it lowercase for services, but the links text I'm going to make a capital S, added to the menu. And I'll do the same thing right here, #FAQ. And then I'll do the same here, FAQ, but I'm going to make those all capitalized. And then lastly right here, I'm going to do # and then contact. And I'll do contact right here for the link text and add it to the menu. Now again, primary menu's checked. I'm just going to go and click Save Menu. So if we were to go back over to our website here and we refresh it, now we're going to have different items within our menu once this loads. And there it is. You can see that it looks like this with about, services, FAQ, and contact right in our menu here. So how to get this to go to certain sections. So if I click on about, I want it to automatically scroll down to where it says about. This is actually a pretty simple process. If we go right here and we right click on the center of the about section, we click edit section, and we go over to where it says advanced. And in this area, we have the CSS ID. And in this one, I'm just going to write about, lowercase, just like that. And I'll just click update. So essentially what that's doing is linking this £, and about to this area. So it knows by default to go to it. So if I were to go and preview the changes in a new tab, this is the live website right here, and I click on about, it'll scroll me right down to the About Us section. And I'm going to do that for all of these, for services, FAQ, and contact. So let's go back over here onto the Elementor page, and we'll go down, and here is the services area. I'm going to go right click, edit section, go to advanced again, and here I'm just going to write services in lowercase and click update. And now that that updates, that should be in effect as well. If we scroll down to the FAQ section, I'm going to go right here, right click, edit section, advanced, and here I'll do FAQ, again all lowercase, and just click update. And then lastly, we'll go down to the contact area, and I'll go right click again, edit section, advanced, and here in the CSS ID, I'll also write contact all lowercase and just click update to make those changes go into effect. Each time we do an update, if we have the live preview open, it updates by default. So if we went back over here, if you click about, it scrolls down to about, services, it goes down to our services section, And it should do the same for FAQ, and there it goes. And last but not least, we'll click contact and it scrolls down to the contact us section. So that is how we would set up our menu for this one-page website. And next, let's dive into actually making some edits throughout the website here to make it look a little bit better overall. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I think this template already leaves us with a great looking website right away. However, I'm just going to try to run through each section here and make some minor changes to all of them. And I'm really going to try to not be too repetitive because I don't want to waste anyone's time that's watching this video. But I do want you to learn the basics of using Elementor and end up with a nice looking website that you can be proud of. So with that out of the way, let's dive into some of these edits. The first thing that I'm going to go over here is changing this if you want to change the background from a video to something else. And how we can do that is we can go right up here to the top, right click, edit section within this area. So if we go over to where it says style right here, you can see that by default it's in this area that says video, and here is a link to the free to use video within YouTube. So you can choose if you want to change that out for another video here, if you want to allow it to only play once, if you want it to play on a mobile device. So let's just go and check that off, this mobile device one, and then I'll click update. And if we were to go and preview the changes on a new tab, so we'll just go over here and let's actually make this smaller so it looks like a mobile device. So if I were to shrink this and make it smaller, you're going to see that it goes to this image by default instead of the video that you would be able to see when it's on a tablet size. So it's a pretty cool feature that it would show the video on tablet and desktop while it would show on a mobile device the actual picture right here as the background fallback image. Now if you wanted to change this image out, you could simply just click on it and you can go to the media library to see what images are already on here by default within the template, or you can upload different files. So I tend to get files from this website called unsplash.com. It has free to use images, and let's just say we went on here, we wanted to add one that says office. You could find something on here, let's say you like this one. You can just go and download it right here, save the file. I'll click OK to save it. And then if I wanted to upload it into the dashboard here, I'll go back to this tab, upload files, select files, and then I would need to find it that just download it, and it's right here. And from there it will load. It might take a minute because it's a larger file from Unsplash. And once it's done downloading or uploading like that, then you can see that this file would be in place if we wanted to add it. So if we wanted to add it, we can just click Insert Media. I would recommend changing the title here though to something related to your business, and the alternative text, make it something related to the picture or the business as well. And then we just click Insert Media. And now if we were to look at what this looks like on a mobile device, let's go back here and actually click Update to change that and make it go into effect. And if we went back over here into preview and made it smaller, you can see that now the image that we just uploaded is now the default background image. So that's how you would change that if you want to make it look different on a mobile device. I think it's better to have an image on a mobile device than a video showing on a mobile device because it already might be a little bit slower running off the data and Wi-Fi within a cell phone to begin with rather than a desktop. I think you're going to have better ability to play the video within a desktop or tablet. So if we go back over here, you can change that out if you want, but by default we have it set to video. If you want it to be just an image, you can go over to background type and classic and just use an image only instead of this video altogether for each of the devices, mobile, tablet, and desktop. So if you wanted to go and change other things within here, right here it says background overlay. If we were to click on that, now we can see that there's this overlay right here. So there's this color with this darker color, and that's toward the bottom of this image. And then there's this blue or this off blue right here, and that's near the top of this image, and it kind of fades from one to the other. I actually don't like this that much in this case, but you can play around with it and change it as needed. So let's just say you want it to have a crazier color up here. We can make it less or more transparent. So you can go and make it like blue like that, and you can make the other one something crazy as well. You can make it all different colors if you want. You can go right here like a blue and do a different blue. I really just don't think any of that looks that good in this case, and that is with the gradient over here. So let's just say you want a classic one that takes up the whole background. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to just make this darker. So I'm going to make it black in this case. And I like it to be darker like that so you can actually read the text a lot easier on this site since the text is white. And I'm going to just go, I'll make it maybe like 70 or 0.7 in this case. I think it just is easier to read. You can still see the video going on in the background. Maybe you want it a little less. It was 6.6 by default, but I'm just going to go with 7. And then I'm going to go and click update to make that go into effect. I think it's just nice and easy to read with this on here. So if I were to go over here in this button and you see when you hover over it, it changes color. Let's go and click on this, right click, edit button. And over here we have some options. So it says right now, talk to us. If you wanted to change that text, you could literally do it right in here or within the button itself. I'm going to go and make it say contact us. And then here, to get it to go down to our contact link, just like we did earlier, we're going to have it be the pound symbol and then contact, all lowercase letters. And then once we update that and put it into effect, it will automatically just go right down to the bottom of the page to the contact form that we're going to set up. So that is a nice way to have it automatically slide down there with the one-page setup. So if you want to, you also can change the icon right here. So if you don't want an icon at all, you can go and just hit trash right here. So let's just click on that and you can see what it looks like without an icon. You can also go and center the button if you want or make it align to the right. I think it looks fine in the center or left in this case. I think left looks a little bit better with how it's set up, so I'd leave it by default at that. And you can also go right here to icon library. And then in this area, if you want to add something, you can. You can do something like a check mark and insert it in there if you want. And you can choose if it's before or after. So there's different options within here. Maybe you'd want to search for like an arrow pointing down or something like that because it's going to take them down to the Contact Us page. There's all different options in here. So once you're happy with that, you can go over here and go to Style, and you can also change what happens with the link color and when you hover over it. So right now the background color is this blue by default. I tend to like a different blue. I like to click on this and then drag it over into the corner to get the blue that I like right there. And then once I have that blue set up, I like to copy that and use it in various places throughout the website. So you might want to copy and paste it into Notepad or Word or something like that if you want to come back to it. But from here, I'm going to go to where it says hover, and I'm going to click on that. And this is the color that happens when we hover over it. So let's say I want it to be a different blue color. Maybe I'll have it be a little bit different than the one that I just set up. So if it's this blue right now and then you hover over it, you can see that there's a clear difference. Somebody's going to know that they hovered over the button to click it, but you can see that the difference, and it's a slight difference in color there. So if we go up to where it says typography right up here, you can go and change the size. So if you want it to be bigger, you can do that. If you want to change the weight, that's going to make it more bold, or thicker like that. You can also change the font family. A popular one is Lato, and I'm just going to go and add that just so you can see it changes the size and the style of the font there. There's so many different ones within here, and if you hover over them, you can see what they look like as you go over them. So it's got a ton of different options built right into the builder here. So I'm just going to go down here and I'll just go with this one right here. It's one of the most common ones, easy to read, and I'm going to make it 600, and I'll make the font a little bit bigger. Now as far as the actual button goes, if we click out of this but remain in the style section here, we can go and change the button shape. So right now it has square edges. If you wanted to add a rounded border to it, you can go like this, and you can see the outside becomes more rounded like a pill shape. Once you get to about 50, it's pretty much like a pill. So that could be something that you want to do. You can also add a different thing right here with the box shadow. And if you were to add a box shadow, it's going to make a blur around the edges. So let's just go and make this white, and you can see what I mean with the shadow around the button. I'm going to clear that for now, but I wanted to at least show you that. And here's a hover animation. If somebody goes over the button, right now it just changes colors. You can have it do all kinds of things. So let's just say we want it to go to pop. You can see when we hover over it, it does this pop effect. I think a lot of these are a little bit over the top, if you ask me. So you can see right there, when you hover over it, it basically bounces in or almost like pulsates. So there's a lot of things that you can do in here. I'm actually just going to leave it as none because I think it looks good enough when you hover over it. But that is how you would set up a button like that and link it so it goes to the contact page. So if we just go down here, click update, and then we went back over to our site right here. Let's go and refresh. And there it is with our new refresh. There's the actual video that plays, but now we have a different image that pops up before it. So if we click Contact Us, it scrolls right down to the Contact Us section at the bottom of the site. So that is a nice feature to have with this ability to just go right down from the button to the page that the people want to go to. And from here, let's go down, and I'm actually going to X out of Unsplash because we don't really need this anymore. And I'll go back over to here, and we'll start editing this About Us section here next. All right, so there's actually not a whole lot that I want to cover within the About section here, but there are just going to be some basic edits that I want to go through, and we can easily do things with the images. So let's just say you wanted to reorder these images. Maybe you want this guy to be on the right, so it goes guy, girl, guy in this scenario. We can just go right here, click, hold, and drag it, and then you can go and drop it right over here to basically reorder the layout that you have set up. Now let's say if you wanted to add another column to this and add a fourth team member here, you can go and right click right here and then just click duplicate, and that will add a fourth one. So that's a way that you can do that as well. And then you can also go here, right click and delete to get rid of that, and then you're back to the 3 columns here within the team setting. So for this About Us, if we see we have the icons right here for social media, but these ones are messed up. Now this is something that pretty commonly happens within Elementor. If we were to just go and click on this, you can see that now it shows up with the icons. This happens all the time for some reason. So once we're in there, let's just say we wanted to edit these, we can go and click on this, and now you can actually click and reorder them. Click, hold, and drag it to reorder the structure. So let's just say we want to move Facebook to the last spot for Jan Whitfield here. We can go and just drag it and drop it, and now you see Facebook is last instead of first like the other ones have. So I'm going to move it back up here to the first position, and then let's just say you wanted to delete Google Plus, for example. You can just go and click delete to delete that. You can add a new item and click on the icon area and search for a different item to put related to a team member's page or profile or something like that. You could add their Skype, for example, and just click insert to put that in. And then, like we had before, you can actually go up and style it and change the colors. But let's just go over changing the link right here. You can click on the actual page icon right here for Facebook, and you can add a link right here. So to make that link open in a new category, we could go to where it says link options, and then it says open in new window. Now I recommend that you have links to something like Facebook or to a video and other things like that that you might be wanting to show people. Go to a new page or open in a new window, because this basically keeps people on your website for longer and keeps your retention time, and it helps you out from an SEO standpoint and making people have longer dwell time on your website. So you can easily just change the link right here, and I would recommend opening a new window in this case. I'm going to go down here and just click save to make those go into effect. And you can also change the alignment right here. See, it goes to the left, center, and right. I'm just going to leave it centered. It looks good when it's centered under the image here. And I'll just go down and click update. And just like with other areas of the site, if you wanted to edit the text, you simply could just click on that and just edit it right in here, or edit right within the actual screen itself. And then for styling, you can change the text color and change the typography, or you can make it a little bit darker if you want and easier to read. I think if I was making this site, I would just make it black right here, and I think it's a little bit easier to read. So sometimes when you click on black within Elementor, you actually have to go and change it within the color wheel itself to make it change. And now you can see that the black is darker right here than this dark gray color. And then you could just click update to make those changes go into effect. So down here, you can also change any of these headings or this text as well very easily. And I already went over how to change a button, so I'm not going to get repetitive with that. Let's go down here to the services section and get started with this area next. All right, so within the services section, I'm just going to make some basic changes here. So I'm going to make this centered right here for services. If I just click right in here, I can just go and click center, and then it will center that. I'm going to go and click update to make that go into effect. So now that is centered. I actually might want to center this text as well right here. And once you click inside of it, you'll go to where it says style, and then you'll center that as well. I think it just looks better when it's centered. It looks more uniform. We have a lot of things that are centered, like the text up here as well on the site. I just like how the overall look is for it. You could actually go and center each of these elements if you wanted, such as these icons and then the marketing plan, things like that. I'm going to leave that as is, but I am going to go and add a free block here. So let's go and click on this plus icon right here where it says add section. If we click on that, we'll go over to where it says Envato elements, and then we'll go over to free blocks. Within this area, I'm going to add something related to services. I'm going to add a pricing table. Now there's lots of different pricing tables in here. However, only certain ones are going to work because we only have the free version of Elementor Pro. I believe that's why only some of these will work. I know I've tested this one before, so I'm going to go with this one right here and click Insert Template. And this is one of the more basic pricing tables here, but I wanted to show you how to add that because normally if we go back over here, you can see that Elementor Pro has the pricing table, so it's only available in a paid version of Elementor. So this is what you would need to do if you want to add it through a free one like Envato Elements free blocks here. So I'm actually going to go and make these all the same color, and then I'll show you how to do that really quick. So if I go right here and I just go and right click, delete, and I go over here, right click, delete on that one, I get rid of those two, and then I'm just going to go and copy, and then I'll right click and I will just paste it right in here. I'm going to go and delete this one so I get rid of that one on the side, and then I'm going to just paste this one in here as well and do the same thing, delete the one on the left side. So now we're left with 3 different sections of our pricing table. Another thing that you might want to do is see the services section has this gray background here. I'm actually going to go up here and right click, edit section, go over to where it says style, and then I'm going to grab the same color background. So we can actually just go right here and copy it from this area where it says color. And I'm going to go down here, edit section for the section that the pricing table is in. I'll go to style, and here for color, I'm going to just go and paste it in right here, and then click update. So now this is all one color with this background color. Now it might be a little bit hard to see, but we can actually edit this a little bit, and I'm going to go through how to make some basic changes so these stand out a little bit more with these pricing tables from the background. And let's say we want to make this one stand out a little bit more. I'm going to go one by one through this, but if we go right here, right click, edit column on the inner one right there, we can go to where it says style, and then we go to border right here. And for box shadow, we can just click on that and we can actually give it a box shadow. So right now, let's just go and change it a little bit. And you can see that now there's this shadow around the outside of it. We can actually make this shadow larger or smaller. So right now it has 81 for the blur, or 80. You can see it kind of pops and it stands out a little bit when you're not on it. You can see it around the shadow of the edges there. So if you wanted to, you can keep it like that. You can make the box shadow not as big of a blur, maybe like 30 or something like that would still be fine. And you can actually go and just duplicate it and replace these other ones if you want to speed up the process. But I just wanted to show you that you can at least add that effect. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to do the same thing to these other ones, style, and then I'll go to border, box shadow right here, and I'll just make it 30, and then I'll make it dark like this. So I'll make it about the same right there. And again, I'm going to go over here, edit column, style, border, box shadow, and then I'll go down here to 30 for blur, and I'll make it dark just like that. So then I'm going to click update down here to make those go into effect. Now that's totally optional. I just want to see what it looks like on the actual site. So let's go and preview the changes and see how it looks when we scroll down here. We'll see that now it has this box shadow around it. Now it's actually really easy to change the pricing table within it. You can see when we hover over it, it actually goes away, this box shadow. So it's a kind of cool feature. You know which one you're on when you're hovering over it. Now, if we went back here, you can actually change it really easily. So you can right click within this section and change whatever you need. So if I just right click, edit icon list, I can go in here and change the text, change the icon if I want. You can choose to have no icon by deleting it right there. And again, you can change the style color within this area as well for the icon color and things like that. So icon, the color right here. So it's really easy to make changes within here. I like how it has this X and then it has these arrows. I would maybe make that like a check mark so your viewers would know that it's included when they're looking at this, and then X means it doesn't have it. You can also maybe put a strike through this as well as far as the actual text goes. But it's really nice to have this feature built in. And then down here for the join now, you can go and edit this button and make it link to somewhere like maybe a payment page with PayPal or Stripe or something like that. So it's very easy to set this up as far as this pricing table goes, and it's a great option since it's free compared to the Elementor Pro version, which is also great to use and easy to use, but you also would have to pay for that. So I'm just going to go down here and click update, and that about wraps up this section. I'm actually going to go down here and delete this out because I'm not really crazy about this image here. It's totally optional if you want to leave this and change things up. I'm just going to go and click X to delete the section, and then have this other section down here for the frequently asked questions. So let's dive into this one next. All right, so the first thing I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to change the background color to a lighter color like a white. Now the reason why I do this is I like to break up the sections from one section to another. So right here, you can see that right here it says About Us, and it is white as the background, and then it's a little bit darker as a gray color within Services. And then down here, I want this to be white as well. So it goes white and then a light gray, then white, then a light gray. I like to break up the sections like that. You can actually have it be a little bit darker if you want, but I just like to have it at least a little bit different so you can see from one section to the next. So you see right here, this is white now. I'm just going to go and click update. Now that we have this background, you can see the gray around this area where the frequently asked questions are. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to delete this section on the right. If you wanted to leave this Our Company section, it's totally up to you. You can do that. I'm just going to right click and delete it in my case. You can always delete it, see what it looks like, and then go back down to the history down here and revert back to it if you liked how it looked before. Then I'll also go right here in the FAQ section and I'll just center that. So now we have it centered within the area. So let's just say, I didn't go over this before, but let's just say if you don't like how much space is between here, there's a couple things you can do. So if we click in this area right here, let's right click, edit intersection. We can go to advanced and you can see it says padding top 35. So let's just say we want to put that to 0. It's going to make it go up and be closer to that other section above it. So this is called padding, and there's also margin as well. When you adjust the padding, it makes it change how far away it is from other sections. So let's just go and make it something crazy just for example. So if I make this 200, you can see it pushes it way down far away from that section. And if you have it at like 50, you can see it's closer. And then if you go to 0, it's at the top of this section that the FAQ is in. So there's still this space here. If I wanted to right click, edit section on the actual section area where this blue box is around, we can go to advanced and you can see it still has 60 at the top and 60 at the bottom. So if I put this at 0, this FAQ is going to be right up against where that gray area is. So if I go to 0, you can see that's what it looks like there. So it's up to you what you want to do for this. I'm going to just make it 50 and 50 just as this example goes. But you can adjust the margin and the padding for all the different sections throughout your website very easily in this way. So I'm just going to go and click update down here. And let's go over this frequently asked questions section. So if I'm in here and I go and right click, edit accordion, this is called an accordion area. So if someone clicks on this, it opens up the answer to their question. So sometimes people have this on the left and sometimes it's on the right. You can actually choose where that icon is located. If we go over to style, icon, you can choose it if it's on the right side. So you see the pluses on the right. I tend to like it more over there, but it's a little bit further away when we have this full width section like this. So it's up to you what you want to do there. And if you want to add another question, let's go back over to where it says content. And then I'll go to, you can either duplicate it right here to make another one, a next question. and then you can go and change the question. So let's just go and add in a question. I actually wrote a couple of them already, some basic ones. So this one basically just says how many of your customers reach their goals. I'm going to go here and delete that, and I'll just go paste in another one, and this one just says how do you market on social media? So that could be a question that somebody might have, and then you might want to give a good answer below, or a detailed answer that's going to get someone's interest if they do have questions about your services. And I just put, we do Facebook marketing via targeted ads to maximize your returns. Now I pasted that in. It actually shouldn't be bold, but you can see what it looks like right there. So if someone were to go and click on this question, how do you market on social media, you can see that it's being done by Facebook marketing for targeted ad marketing. So then you can just go and click update to make that go into effect. Now you can choose how you want to do this. If you want to have two sections like you had before, and you can revert back into history to do that, or you can leave it like this if you like the full width frequently asked questions section like I do. So if we go down here, I'm actually going to go and skip past this part. If you want to add this talk to us button and make it go right down to the contact us page, you can do that. So let's just click on that, and right here we'll just make it say contact. And if we click update now, if someone clicks talk to us, it will scroll them right down here to this contact area. The thing I want to go over here is this case study section. So I'm actually going to delete this out of here as well, and I'm going to add a different section. So I'm just going to go and click this to delete. And here I'm going to then go and hit plus to add a new section. And I'll make a 2 wide section right here with a section structure. And in this section, I'm going to add testimonials. So if I click on this plus, we can go over here to the widgets, and we're going to add a widget called testimonial. I'm going to go and just drag it and drop it right in here. And by default, this is what our testimonial would look like. Now here you can obviously change the text and add in the testimonial. You can change the person's name and their title right here. And you can also choose an image. So let's just go and add an image right here. And once we have this section like this, we can actually just go and copy it, and we can just go and paste it right over here. I'm actually going to get rid of this one in the middle. I keep doing that, but now we have two different testimonials, and you could go and change out the image to make it somebody else in this testimonial instead. Let's go with this guy right here. And now you have two different testimonials on your site very quickly. Now I would also just go up here to where it says case studies, and make it say testimonials there as well, and update it. So that's a quick and easy way to add some testimonials to your site. I would actually do one last thing. I'll right click, edit section, get the style, and I'm going to grab this background color. So I'll copy that, and I'll go right click in the middle here, edit section, style, and then I'll go over to where it says background type classic, and I'll just paste that in to keep that same color for this testimonial section. And then the white section below is the contact us section down here. And just one last thing we could do here is we actually can go and add to this. So if we went over here and went back to the blocks, and then we put in star, we can add a star rating. So let's just say this guy's going to give it a 5-star review. So you click, hold, drag it, and drop it right below. And then you can center it right here. And we can also go and do the same thing over there. I'm just going to put in star again and bring a star rating over here and just drop it below and center it. So here you can choose the rating. Maybe you do like 4.5, and you can see it gives a half star right there. So that's how you can add star ratings with your testimonials if you want to add those as well. So with that all wrapped up, let's go down here to the contact area, and we're going to get started with building our contact form. So within this contact area, we have a couple of different options. So we can either leave it as is with this layout here, and you can just fill in your own information for your company, such as a phone number, address, email, things like that, different ways to connect them. Or we can go and add in a free block. So I'm actually going to go and add in an entire new section here and show you how to create a contact form and basically set it up so it's linked to your email address. So if you remember, we actually have this one linked to our contact page right here. So if you go up here, right click, you can see it's a CSS ID contact. So if we're going to delete this whole section, we're going to need to make the new section linked to this contact right here for the CSS ID. So when you click on contact or a button that goes to the contact page, it's automatically going to go down here. So I'm actually just going to go and click X and delete this entire section. And then I'm going to go right here and then go to Envato Elements, Free Blocks, and I'll go into the contact area right here. Now there's lots of different free contact forms we can set up here, and then we can link it with a contact form plugin in the back end so it works properly. So you can find one that you like in here. I think most of them should work for this, and I'm just going to go and insert this template. The only thing is when you get it and you insert it, you're going to see that there's actually no contact form set up, and that's what we're going to go through here, is linking those two together. So you can also see right here there is no actual icon. If you just click on it, it should come up. This is that typical error that happens from time to time. So I'm just going to go and click Update right there. And then at the top of this section, I'm actually going to right click, Edit Section, and I'll go to Advanced CSS ID. We're going to put in Contact, and this will ensure that once we save it, it will go to the contact section each time when we click on the contact link in the menu or something like that to slide it down to this area. So to get started here, we're going to need to add in a widget. So if we click the plus icon right here, we can go over here and type in short, and that's for short code. And let's go and grab this and drag it and drop it in here. And from here, I'm just going to go down and save it and update it right here. So we're going to have to add a plugin and then link the shortcode to this area. So I'm going to actually go back over to our dashboard tab here. If you are in the dashboard already, you can go right here and then exit to the dashboard to get back there. And within the dashboard area back here, let's go down to where it says plugins, add new. And here I'm going to search for the plugin called Happy Forms. And this is one I actually reviewed a couple of years ago. I really like the Happy Forms plugin here. And I'm just going to go and click Install Now on this plugin, and I'll activate it. So once we're activated, you can actually choose to put in your email address, or you can just click Continue. I'm going to just click Continue now, and then I'm going to go into where it says Edit for the sample form. So here is where we can start building out our form, and it kind of gives you a preview here, but it's not going to be perfect. So right here, our title, we can actually get rid of that. So right now, I'm going to just call it Contact Form, just so you would know what it is on your site. But we can actually take this out of the title area, and that's something that we're probably going to want to do. So right here, we have first name, and that's right here. And then we have last name. So I actually don't want to ask for the last name in a contact form. I'm going to go right here. So you click on this to open it up, and then click Delete. And here is multiple choice questions. If you want to leave that in there, that's totally up to you. I'm going to go and delete that as well. So I'm going to go down here and delete. And this one says drop down, what's your age? Basically, these are just trying to show you that it can make it drop down. It can have radio buttons with multiple choice options. You can do first name, last name, email address, and a longer message. They're basically just trying to show you the options that come within the actual contact form plugin here. So I'm going to go to this what's your age drop down, and I'm also going to delete that one as well. So I am going to go and add a new field. So you can see this one takes up about half the space. I'm going to go and add a new field, and I'm going to add email address. I'm going to make sure this field is required. And then where it says logic and more, I'm going to go and click on more. And right here it says width. I'm going to make the width half. And then I'll just close this, and I'll click, hold, and drag it, and I'll drop it into the second position. So you can see right here it says first name. This says untitled because I didn't title it. I got to change that, and that's where our email would go. And then it says your message. So let's just click on this real quick where it says label untitled. Let's go and make this one email. And then once we're happy with that, we can update it, and we can keep going through the build out of this form here. So next is the setup page, and this is where you would confirm that you got it, and it would say thank you, your submission has been sent, or if there's a problem, it will let them know. And this is where you have your button label that says send. If you want to change that, that's where you would do that. So if we go over to where it says email, this is where you'd want to put in your email address. So mine's already in there, but you want to put a good email to receive the messages from this contact form too. So it will say you received a message. You might want to say you received a message from, and then whatever your website name is here. And then I'm going to go over to where it says style. And in this area, we have a few different options as well. So I'm going to go down to where it says title right here. And you can choose if you want to display or hide it. I'm going to hide the title from the form because I don't want it to actually show right here and say contact form when it already says contact us up here. So I'm going to hide the display title right here, and I'll hit this button to go back to the other options. And here it says field borders and spacing. You can change the options within here. You can play around with them as needed. And then I'm going to go down right here to field labels and text. And here I'm going to change the title colors to be white. And you can't see them now, but that's where they were. If you want to go back to black, you can see this is what they are. But since our background for the form is going to be this blue color by default when we first load it up here, I want it to be white because the text will be easier to see on it. So I'm going to make this text white for the title colors here. And if you want to change any of these other things, you can do that as well. I'm going to leave it as is. And then if you want to go down here and change the button color as an example, you can do that. So right here, it has black background by default. Maybe I'll make it like this color right here or this darker blue. And then I'll just go right here and click update to make that go into effect. So we're going to need to click this X here to go back. And here is our shortcode. So if we click copy to clipboard right here, we'll get the shortcode. And if we go back here, right click, edit shortcode, we can just simply paste this in, and there is our contact form right in there. Now if you want to edit this a little more, you can. So right here you can see it actually goes past the bottom of our page. So this is where the footer would be, where that blue line is going through. That would actually be where the bottom is. So let me just update this. I'll show you what it looks like. So if we go back over here to the front of our website in the preview here, you can see that the form basically gets cut off at the bottom because of the footer and how that's set up. So to change that, we can go right up here, right click, edit intersection, go to advanced, and right now it says margin 100, and it's basically pushing it below the actual page itself. I'm just going to change that to be 0 right here, and I'll go down here and click update to make that change go into effect. And now if we were to go back over here and it refreshed, you can see that it's not all the way at the bottom and going through the footer there. So another thing that you might want to do is if we go back over here, right click, edit intersection again, and we'll go to style. You can change the background color as needed. So if you want it to be a little lighter or something like that, you can change the form, you can change the whole look and feel to the form as needed for whatever you want. And really, it's totally up to you what you want to do here. I'm just going to keep it somewhat similar to the site colors already that we have going on the site. And I'll just leave it maybe like that right there. And I'll just click update to go into effect. So if somebody were to fill out this form and hit send, we would get it at the email that we put in while we were creating that contact form. Again, these areas right here are easy to change, just like we've done throughout this website creation process here. And you can just click right in there and edit the actual address right in this area. So next I wanted to just go up here to the top of the website, and I'm going to edit the menu right here, and we're actually going to edit the footer all the way at the bottom here as well, this area. If you want to have one, I'm going to show you how to remove it or edit it if you want. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this menu transparent. So I actually want this video to be higher up and go to the top of the website. So it's basically behind our menu here. So what I'm going to need to do is just right click, edit section on this video up here at the top, and then I'll go to advanced. So what I'm going to want to do within this margin area is at the top, I want to make it maybe -90 or something like that, and it will basically force it up higher when we do that. And now it's actually higher up because of the way we change this margin right here. And I'm just going to go and click update to make that go into effect here with this change. And next I'm going to go back here, and then I'll exit to the dashboard. And within the dashboard, I actually am going to X out of this other dashboard window here. So we're just left with our dashboard and our preview. Let's go back within the actual dashboard here and go to Appearance and then Customize. Now once this opens, this is called the Customizer, and you can make some basic edits within your site by using this. So what I'm going to do is go over to where it says Header right here, and I'll make it Transparent Header. And I'm going to click Enable on the complete website. So now our header is transparent, and you can see right here it's very light, but you can see this is where the logo would be, and here are our menu items. So to change this menu so we can actually see it a little bit, let's go down to right here within transparent header still, and we'll go to where it says menu, and we'll scroll down and it says link text color. Let's go and make that white, and you can see the menu once you do that. And then on hover, so if you're hovering over one of them, it turns blue by default right here, and that's not bad, but I'm going to make it something we can see a little bit better. I'll make it this yellow, so if we hover over it, you can see the different color link that you're on right here. So it's very nice to see this white on this darker video background here, and that's part of why I made it darker earlier, so you can see this text better, and it also applies to this white text in our menu. I'm going to just go and click publish right here, and then what I'm going to do is I'll go back right here with this button and back again, and I'll go over to where it says global because I want to change the size of this menu here. If we go to typography, base typography, right here we can actually go and increase the size. So I'm just going to go to 20, see what it looks like, and I think that looks pretty good overall. You can also change things like the font family. You can change the weight to make it maybe a little more on the bold side or something like that. So this is changes that you can make very easily within the header right here. I'm just going to go and leave this at medium, and I'll click publish right here to make it go into effect with our new menu up here at the top. Now to change the footer at the bottom, let's just go back and back again one more time. And I'm going to scroll down here to the footer so you can see what it looks like. So right now, this is what our footer looks like. It just says copyright, marketing masters, and then it has powered by the Astra theme. So if we went down here to footer, and then we have footer bar right here, you can choose if you want to change this. So right here where it says site title, it just pulls marketing master from our site title within our dashboard area. And this says powered by author theme. So let's say you wanted to get powered by the Astra theme out of there. You would just go here and you would simply just delete it, and it says copyright 2020 marketing masters. And each year it will update, so it'll be 2021, 2022. It will do that by default. Now if you don't want anything at all at the bottom, you can just go and click on this and it will get rid of everything. And that's what I'm going to do in this case, but I wanted to at least show you how to do that. And then I'll hit publish right here. So if we went back over here and let's just refresh this page, we can go and scroll down, and we can see that now when we go to the bottom, there's no footer here at the bottom of our page on our live site. So our site is coming together pretty nice. I think it looks pretty good overall. The last thing that we're going to need to do here is create a logo for our site. So I'm going to navigate over to this site. It's called Get Stencil, and if you wanted to, I'll have a link in the description of the video. And it's actually free to sign up for an account here. So if you wanted to look at the pricing for the plans, they have some limited free plans, and it's good enough to create a logo with for us. So it says save up to 10 images a month. You can upload up to 50 images, and you can basically create different images that you can use for your website and other things like social media as well. So what I'm going to do here is just log into my account. You can sign up for one for free if you don't have one already. And then within the account here, I'm actually going to navigate back over and show you something before we dive in. So it says 10 images left, so you know how many you have each month. I'm going to go back over here, and within the dashboard here, actually within this customizer here, we're going to see that there's this area that says header, and then it says site identity. Right here, if we were to click select logo, it says your suggested dimensions are 180 by 60 pixels. So this gives us a good idea on how big our logo should be. So it should be 180 by 60 for this area up here, or right around that size. For the select site icon, it says 512 by 512. So you can easily go and create them at the sizes that it's saying. And the site icon is basically this little icon that goes in the bar that you're going to see for the tabs of your website. And then the logo is right up here. So if we went over to stencil here, we can go and then create a new size. So if you wanted to click down here at the bottom, you can go to custom over here. And I actually already created them, but you would name it. So I would name one favicon, for example, 512 by 512, and then just click add, just like I did right here. And then you can do the same with the logo. So I'm going to start with the favicon right here. And I'll click that. Now it's 512 by 512. So what we want to do here is just click on the image right here on this canvas. And I'm going to click make background transparent. And now I'm going to go and just make these two M's for the website that we have here. I'm going to make it larger so you can see it pretty good. It would be nice if it was a little bit bigger, but you get the idea, and you can click, hold, and drag it and resize it, refocus it. So I'm going to go and just drop it right there and save it. In most cases, if you have a paid plan, you can just download it. But here I'm going to go and click save, and then it will save the image. That's how it knows how many images are left here. And I'm actually going to go and delete some of these other ones. And now I'm just left with my MM one right here. And then I'm also going to just go from here and take this and download it right here. And I'm just going to put MM Favicon. And here I'll click start download, and now it will start to download. I'll save it, click OK. And back in this area, we can click on where it says site icon, which is this one at the top. And I'll just click select, upload files, select files, and I'll find the downloads area, Favicon. It's going to be a little bit small, but that's fine. I'm going to copy this title and also make it the alt text and hit select. And now it's at the top of the website. So you can see it really small right over here. And that's what it would look like. So for Marketing Masters logo, I'm going to also make this one MM as well. But what we're going to need to do is go back here into Get Stencil. We'll click on this, go to Set for the 180 by 60, which is the size. And here I'm going to just rearrange where it's at. And I'm going to make this one white. And it's going to be very difficult to see. You can barely see the MM there. But it's going to look better because of this dark background here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go and save it. And then once it saves, I'll go and click download. And I'll just name this one MM logo for Marketing Masters logo. And here I'll save it again. And then once it saves, I'll go back over here. We're in site identity, select logo, upload logo, select files, and here MM logo. And I add it to the site. Again, I'm just going to put it as the alternative text as well. Hit select. And I'm going to skip the cropping in this case. And now we're going to have this logo right here on the site itself. So if we scroll down here, it says site title. You can choose to display the site title or not. And now it gets rid of where that was. It doesn't look perfect, but it looks pretty good. You get the idea of this MM right here. You can also change the size of it. So if you adjust it right here, it will adjust the size of the logo. So maybe you want it to be a little smaller, like 100. I think it looks pretty good overall. And it just shows you how to make a logo very quickly for this Marketing Masters website, as well as this menu to go with it. So once you're finished, you want to make sure to hit publish right here. And then we can actually go back here and X out of the site, or you can go and redo the images if you need to save it, or upgrade to another plan if you want more capability. I'm going to go and X out of this for stencil. And if we went back over here to the site, let's go back here, X out of this, and I'm going to just go and visit in a new tab so we can see what it looks like live on the website. So I think the logo looks a little bit better right now. And you can see here's our menu here at the top with the video background, the Contact Us button that will take us right down to the bottom. Here's our About section with our social media links and images, text right here, services where we added this pricing table. We have the frequently asked questions section right here, nice image right there, and then we have testimonials from customers, and then down here we have our contact page. So I hope that this was a nice tutorial to learn from. I really hope that you were able to make a website with WordPress by following this tutorial, and that you learned about Elementor in the process and how great of a tool it is to make simple websites just like this one. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe for more WordPress related tutorials. Thanks for viewing and have a wonderful day.